The 2021 Aviation Content Creators Awards took place in Rock Falls, Illinois at the Whiteside County Airport. Right here. The dates for the show were Saturday and Sunday, July 24th and 25th, 2021. I arrived on Friday, July 23rd, while some of the planes for the air show were also arriving. World War II P-51 Mustang. I also got to hang out with my brother from another mother, Glenn Hancock, who of course took me for another ride in his beautiful Lockheed 12, which was built in the 1930s. Flying Cowboys also arrived to give a Stol demonstration. Stol stands for Short Takeoff and Landing. These airplanes could take off and land in extremely short distances.
High AOA! Oh man, look at that! Wow! That's hanging it on the prop.
There was also a group of pilots from Georgia called the Full Throttle Formation Team. They are a bunch of retired Air Force pilots who put on an incredible show flying in formation. I told these pilots that their formation flying stresses me out because they're so close together. And if you look at this formation on the far right side of the formation, it appears that they had a close call but recovered from it just fine. I have to admit, this was a great group of guys, and I hope I get to meet them again in the future.
Perfect spacing on it based on the timing it took.
Dan Gryder was also there with his DC-3. He took a group of women up called the Misty Blues All-Woman Skydiving Team.
It's the first time we're throwing skydivers out of the airplane while we're in formation with the formation team.
So you're going to be first out, so you're spotting kind of how this goes?
Can't get quick shot.
Almost nothing anyway.
Well, I'm checking.
They was crazy is how quiet it is back here. I guess most of the ones who jumped out didn't jump out.
And he had them jump out of his airplane while he was flying in formation with the Full Throttle Formation Team.
launcher, gonna catch the flag. Don't let it touch the ground, boys. Get her, get her, get her. Run, run, run. Good job. Misty Blue skydiving team, ACCA 2020. Thank you so much. What a great job.
Matt Mansell, who has a YouTube channel titled Matt Mansell, flew his Cessna 150 to the air show. While he was there, he asked Dan Gryder if he would go flying with him. Dan Gryder also has a YouTube channel titled Probable Cause Dan Gryder. They took off, heading in this direction, and they flew around and came back. Dan Gryder wanted to see what the Flying Cowboys saw when they came into their 400-foot airstrip that was given to them here at the airport. That airstrip was right in here. Dan Gryder came in with Matt Mansell in the Cessna 150 with full flaps. They lined up on the 400-foot grass runway the Flying Cowboys were using because Dan Gryder wanted to get an idea of what the Flying Cowboys saw as they were flying into this 400-foot strip. As he came over the top of it, he was about 100 feet above the ground and hit the throttle to go around. He had no intention of landing here. As he attempted to retract the full flaps, they would not retract. The flaps were locked in a full down position. The airplane that they were flying in came around about 80 feet above the ground and started to do a gradual right-hand turn. With full flaps and 2 grown men on board a Cessna 150 in hot weather that was humid, the Cessna 150 could not climb. Dan Gryder took over, and he said all he could see in front of him was telephone poles and trees and houses right here. So he began a gradual right-hand turn about 80 feet above the ground. He made it to over here, and his plan was to land in the cornfield because he knew he didn't have enough energy to make it back to the airport. And as they came over the top of the airfield, the airplane ended up landing approximately right in here, a soft landing. Unfortunately, when the nose gear contacted the ground, the plane flipped over upside down. Dan Gryder and Matt Mansell were able to get out without a scratch or a bruise. And Dan pulled out his cell phone and began to film immediately after the incident. And this is what he had.
Well, here's an interesting one. Went to make an evening flight in the Cessna 150 and went to do a low approach, but it didn't look right, so we did a go around from about 100 feet. But on this particular airplane, the flaps would not retract. So we messed with flaps, but because we made our approach at flaps 40, they wouldn't retract. And flaps on this are electrical, so the flaps would not retract, and I don't know why, but circuit breaker's good, electrical is good. Yes, we're good. Yep, we're all good. Yep. Yep, we're all good. There we go. Reinforced.
Everything off?
Everything's off. Yeah, everything's off.
You in that, Dan?
Yeah, I was in it.
I saw you. I said they might crash.
Yeah.
You guys turned crosswind.
The flaps would not retract. The flaps would not
At 30
retract.
degrees, the Cessna won't fly.
We did a low approach, and just to look at it, when we did a go-around, we added power and turned the carb heat off.
Okay, it's no fuel. Yeah, the fuel.
Fuel caps will be leaking. Yes, fuel shut off, master shut off. The only thing that's got power right now that's going off is the ELP.
Okay.
So we left it.
Did they call you? Check your phone because the airport's calling you.
No, my phone's dead.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, we're all good. Yeah, no, we're totally good.
Okay, so you need to call your backup phone number because the Air Force is calling them.
Yeah, it's,
So they're
it's
worried
okay.
about
Let's let these guys do their job.
Yeah.
We're all fine here.
Let's let the ambulance get here, check everybody out.
Okay. All right.
Get all the info.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. No, we're good. We're good. No, we're good. We're good. We're totally good. No, we're good. Drew finally made it. We got corn in the cabin.
Yeah. Were you in it?
Yeah,
You didn't run.
I was in it.
Oh, you're in it?
Yeah, we just went to do an evening flight, and we did a low approach out there, and on the go-around, we came down to about 100 feet. We did a go-around, so I turned the carburetor heat off, added power, and the flaps wouldn't come up. They were stuck, so circuit breakers were good. we could not get the flaps to retract.
Yeah, we were coming.
Okay.
You were full flaps.
We could not. We could not. And then by the time I got here, I was
Fine. You're fine with this gentleman right here.
Yeah. He's the airplane owner right here. So anyway,
Glad you guys are okay.
yeah, no, everybody's good. Everybody's good. Sorry for the inconvenience. Well, upside down in the airplane, just taking a look around here at the cockpit. So the story is we initiated a go-around, standard go-around about 100 feet, which is what I'd planned to do, just take a look at that Stol runway. But I'd made my approach at full flaps and carburetor heat on, so on the go-around I added full power, carburetor heat off, and flaps up. Now on the approach, the flaps had worked perfectly, 10 at a time, and I ended up at 40 flaps at about 100 feet, and everything looked good. I have no idea why the flap system did not retract, but in this airplane, in this heat, full flaps, that's you're not going to climb. So here's our cockpit panel right here, and everything is upside down, but all indications prior to that had been completely normal. I did not have any indication that there was anything wrong, but not my airplane. I had never flown it before. I don't know if there's any quirks or anything with the airplane, but the owner said he had never experienced any problems with flaps or flap retraction either. So it's a mystery why flap. It's a simple electric motor, but it's a brand new Concorde battery, a good electrical system, and a good circuit breaker here. And the flaps work perfectly on pre-flight, takeoff, and approach. So I have no reason to believe that they were not going to work during the go-around. So it's a mystery. I'll let you know what happens on this one. Well, whenever you crash an airplane, you got a bunch of knuckleheads trying to tell you what you did wrong.
That's
Here,
right.
Blanco Lario already trying to tell me the problem caused, and all these guys out here.
Dan, Toby and I were having dinner. We sat down to have dinner, and I'm sitting across the table from Toby, and all of a sudden Toby looked up and said, "Oh no." I turned and looked, and there was a Cessna 150. It looked to me it was about 50 feet off the ground, full flaps, just putting along real slow, heading for some trees, and then it started to make this gradual left-hand turn, and I had no idea who it was. It turned out to be you.
I had no idea who it was, and it did turn out to be me.
There's the flaps, still locked in that position that caused the problem.
Did they just drag it over here like this then?
No, they picked up the crane and set it over here.
Okay.
So this is the explosion. So this is where you ended up, right here.
All their minivans.
This is it.
Wow. The plane, the tail was over here, upside down. The right wing was here, left wing here, and the nose is pointing in this direction. And you can see what they did here is they came through cutting the corn. Perfectly good corn, mowed down, but it probably helped save them. A little bit of cushion. So right here you can see where the landing gear started to strike the corn. Right up here, this would have been the left landing gear, and the right landing gear. Right landing gear started to strike it. Back in here, you can see it's chopped. Looks like the first point of impact on the corn was right in here. Wow. And they went in this direction. I would say 80 feet from first initial contact to stop.
Here like this, and then the nose gear hits somewhere right here, and then it goes over, leaving these right here.
It's almost like it jumped.
No,
Okay.
no, it just flipped.
So the wings went over the top of
nose
these.
The nose ends up right here. The wings could not take off these. The only reason this corn is mashed is because the wings mashed that down right there. So that left that.
So basically what happened is The nose planted about where you're standing there.
Yep.
It flipped up, the wings went over the top of this, or didn't break the top of it here, and then flopped over there.
Right.
That's why it's cut through here. The wings cut those sections, flipped here, left the corn there, and landed there. Very interesting. In the flying community, there is a saying that says, any landing you walk away from is a good landing. Although Matt Mansell was heartbroken over the damage to his plane, he was able to return to his wife and kids alive and well. A GoFundMe account was started for Matt with a goal of $10,000. The flying community came together and raised almost $15,000 for him. If you would like to see the progress on his plane, you can watch it on his Matt Mansell YouTube channel. And thankfully, also being alive and well, Dan Gryder was able to return to his family and continue to share his one-of-a-kind sense of humor.
I'm outstanding in my field. I'm outstanding in my field. Yeah, this is actually pretty good here. Let's check and see how it is. It's not bad. Pretty tasty. You got any butter?
It's back at the
I try to
hotel.
leave no margin for error.
That was a corny joke. So there you have it. My second visit to the ACCAs right here on the Forrest Haggerty channel.